What's up, Raider Nation? Welcome back with another update. If you're new here and love daily Raiders content, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a video. All right, let's talk about the latest move by the Raiders. They've just added some much needed depth to the defensive line. According to Tom Pelissero, veteran defensive lineman Leki Fotu is signing with the Raiders. Let's go. Fotu, 26 years old, was drafted by the Arizona Cardinals in the fourth round of the 2020 draft after playing at Utah. Last season, he joined the New York Jets, but injuries kept him off the field for most of the year. He only played 2 games, starting in one, and recorded just 3 tackles. Over his 5-year career, Fotu has played in 58 games, racking up 92 tackles, 7 QB hits, 12 tackles for loss, 3.5 sacks, 3 pass deflections, 1 forced fumble, and 1 fumble recovery. Now, let's be real. He's not a game changer, but he's a solid depth piece for the Raiders' defensive line. With his massive size and run-stuffing ability, Fotu will likely play as a rotational nose tackle, especially against run-heavy teams. He won't put up flashy stats, but his ability to clog the trenches and absorb blockers makes him a valuable piece. Expect him to compete with Jonah Laulu for playing time this season. The trend with this team is clear. We're not going after big names, but we're stacking up depth where it matters. Let's see how it plays out. The Raiders are sticking to their game plan, adding depth, not big names. We just have to hope these moves pay off because, let's be real, if we don't start winning, fans are going to question every single decision. But the Raiders weren't done yet. Breaking news, another signing. According to Raiders PR, the team is bringing in veteran tight end Ian Thomas. Now, this raises a big question. What does this mean for Michael Mayer? There have been rumors that the Raiders might be looking to trade Mayer, and honestly, I don't get why. But with Ian Thomas coming in, could they be eyeing him as the backup to Brock Bowers? Personally, if it were up to me, I'd keep Michael Mayer and let Ian Thomas slide into that third tight end spot. Think of him as a replacement for Harrison Bryant from last season. If we roll with Brock Bowers, Michael Mayer, and Ian Thomas, our tight end room could be solid. Now, let's talk about Ian Thomas. He's not a flashy name. He's not going to light up the scoreboard, but he's a dependable depth piece. At 28 years old, Thomas was a fourth-round pick by the Panthers in 2018. After his rookie deal, he signed a 3-year, $17 million contract in 2021. Last season, not great. He played in only 5 games, caught just 3 passes for 7 yards, and didn't score a single touchdown. But sometimes it's not about the stats. It's about having a reliable backup who can step up when needed. So, what's the plan? Is Thomas just extra depth? Or is there something bigger happening with Mayer? Only time will tell. Now, Ian Thomas's receiving numbers might not turn heads, but his blocking skills? That's where he shines. He's a physical presence in the run game, exactly what the Raiders need. Instead of spending big on a pass-catching tight end, they're going for a reliable veteran option. And Thomas fits that role perfectly. If the team is moving on from Michael Mayer, Thomas makes sense as Brock Bowers' backup. But even if Mayer stays, Thomas slides in as TE3, bringing depth and toughness to the tight end group. Plus, with Pete Carroll at the helm and a big focus on the run game, adding a blocking tight end like Thomas, it just makes sense. But what do you think, Raider Nation? Are you excited about this move? Or does it not move the needle for you? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Now, on to more good news. According to Aaron Wilson, the Raiders have signed offensive lineman Jordan Meredith, a quiet but important move for the team. And here's why it matters. Meredith just had his best season yet, and the Raiders got him on a 1-year, $1.05 million deal. An absolute steal. He might not be a household name, but last season, when injuries hit the O-line, he stepped up in Week 6 and never looked back. How good was he? One of the best. 5th highest PFF grade among all guards in 2024. Allowed 0 sacks all season. Only gave up 1 quarterback hit. Allowed just 9 pressures in 399 pass blocking snaps. Not bad for a guy who was an undrafted free agent in 2021 and had never played over 100 snaps in a season before 2024. Now, he's not just depth. He's bringing stability to the offensive line without breaking the bank. If last season was any indication, his role is only going to grow from here. So, Raider Nation, what do you think? Is Meredith the underrated signing we needed? Let's talk about it. With Jordan Meredith back, I can definitely see him starting this season alongside JPJ and DJ Glaze. But even with this move, I still think the Raiders should keep building the offensive line. Adding more depth, especially at right guard and right tackle, would make a big difference. That being said, I'm excited about this O line. A lot of people love to criticize the unit, but if you really look at last season, they weren't as bad as people think. In fact, they started coming together late in the year. Now, heading into this season with a new quarterback under center, especially Geno Smith, I can't wait to see how they perform. But here's the big thing: the Raiders still need a true WR1 and a star running back. If they lock down those two pieces, I think the offense will be just fine. So, Raider Nation, what do you think? Is bringing back Jordan Meredith a big deal? I sure think so. Right now, the O line looks solid, but with the draft and free agency still in play, there's always room to add more firepower. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Now, let's talk about DJ Turner. As you probably already know, the Raiders didn't extend his tender, making him an unrestricted free agent. So far, no moves have been made, and based on his latest Instagram post, it looks like his time in Las Vegas is over. His post. It's been real 55. That pretty much says it all, and honestly, it sucks. Turner was one of those guys who grinded his way up the roster. I even had the chance to interview him, and he seemed genuinely invested in staying with the Raiders. Last season, he finally got a shot and made the most of it. 12 games, 6 starts, 16 catches, 158 yards, 1 touchdown, 5 carries, 33 yards, 1 rushing touchdown. Not superstar numbers, but still solid production for a guy who worked his way up. With Turner likely gone, the Raiders have another hole to fill at receiver. What do you think, Raider Nation? Should they have kept him, or was it the right move to move on? Let me know in the comments. Unfortunately, Turner's season was cut short due to injury, and honestly, that's tough. With the Raiders still needing wide receiver depth, I was surprised they didn't bring him back, especially on a cheap one-year deal. But hey, I wish him nothing but the best. Whatever team he joins is getting a hard worker, and hopefully he makes the most of his next opportunity. Now, back to the Raiders. What's it going to take for this team to make a move at wide receiver? I said it before. Alec Pierce is a solid option. But right now, the only notable receivers on the roster are Jacoby Myers and Trey Tucker. That's it. And if the Raiders really want to compete, they need to bring in another playmaker. Some big names have been thrown around. Amari Cooper? Wouldn't mind that. Keenan Allen? Another interesting option. Stephon Diggs? Could be a game changer. But let's be real, the Raiders don't have to go after a superstar. Based on how they've handled free agency so far, I wouldn't be surprised if they find someone on a cheap 1-year or 2-year deal. Now, if they don't address wide receiver in free agency, and I have a feeling they won't, then the draft becomes key. And if a guy like T-Mac is still there at number Aru, that's who I'd take over Ashton Jeanty without hesitation. I truly believe T-Mac could step in as the Raiders' WR1 right away, but what do you think, Raider Nation? With wide receiver being a major need, would you rather A, go big in free agency and grab a proven star? B, draft a young wide receiver one and build for the future? Drop your thoughts in the comments below.